Next snag, started putting these headers in. I got the pipe out pretty good. I'm trying to put them in through the top. It looks like I'm hitting my valve cover and the frame here. I tried to put them in from the bottom. No soap that way either. And I think that these things go under that clutch rod. From looking at them, it's like 2 or 3 inches behind the hole, and it looks like the header's coming out in front of that last port there. And I've almost got them to go here. I can kind of move them around a little. And it looks like if I had another ½ an inch here, they would probably go in. I'm just guessing, of course, they might not go in at all. But I think what I'm going to have to do is go down in there to that motor mount and take that, loosen that motor mount up and jack the motor up. Now that's going to play hell with my clutch arm down there. Hopefully it'll flex enough to get me to the room I need to get this header down in there. Obviously I should clean all that stuff first, but I'm gonna not just try to put these in there and get them bolted up. I probably have to take them off later and clean it. And the other side looks about the same. Of course, I don't have the clutch down in there, so this will be pretty much easier. It looks like that'll shove up from the bottom real well. I have plenty of room. So this is the hard side. I figured I'd try to do it first, and it was the one that was broke. So anyway, so I think that's what I'm going to have to do is loosen up that motor mount and see if I can jack this motor up. I don't think it's going to need much. Maybe if I get it up an inch, that would give me enough clearance to get these headers in, and I might have to take off that valve cover to get a little more, but mostly got it done. You know, I'm right at the bend here, so it don't really look like I got much to go at all. So that's what I'll do, jack it up and try to get that mount out. Really showing much of anything. I've got this sitting on the AMX, but probably good enough to see it start. It's going to be loud. I've got an open header on one side. Obviously I got something wrong. No idea how close my timing is. I might have my firing order messed up too. So I'll do a little diagnosing here. Well, I pulled my number one cylinder and checked it. It was timing was way retarded. I apparently moved it around a little, so I put it where it's almost opening right at 12 degrees before. And everything's good. It should fire right up. So that's a success. And my idle screw here. Oh, there it is. This is kind of a weird one. You got to adjust it from the front. Give it a turn here. That's about 3/4 of a turn. Under here chewing on this exhaust. I had to move my emergency brake bracket, and I have found a little piece of pipe that was about the right size, and I split it, put it on there. This side's good, and it looks like the other side's pretty much lined up over there. I'll make me a little piece to hook it up, and I'll tack them on real good, and then I'll take it loose and lower it down, and then I should be able to weld them all up real tight so they don't leak. But this looks pretty good, better than I thought it was going to look like. The other one, I was under here, I cut it a little too much with that plasma cutter, but I've got some more pipe laying here on the floor that I'll figure out how to make me a connector there, and we'll get this thing exhaust hooked up and running today. It's finished. You see both of them are welded up good and tight. I just started it. No exhaust leaks at all, but I got to tighten the side still. But I got the headers hot, so that should give me a good snug seal. I don't hear any leaks in it at all anyway, but the other side's tight, and I'll tighten this one here. Should be a done deal here. Well, there it is, idling. I was able to adjust the air screws. That was a success. Well, shut it off. Probably got a little hot. Little steam. Should put water in it, I guess. But anyway, headers are on. Motor running fine. The valve cover looks real good there. And this one needs to be fixed. Everything's all welded up, no leaks. So I did a little cleanup, and this thing will run and drive. Mustang again, and dash. I got my wiper switch was completely gone, so I got a new replacement. This is a 2-speed switch. So I'm going to hook it up. Looks like it's the right one. And try to finish up some of this dash wiring. And I need to hook up my charge indicator there. It's an amp gauge. So I'm sure the power runs through it. I'm going to try to get this thing to charge, so that means putting part of this dash back, and I'll go ahead and start putting some of this back together. Well, looks like I got the wipers working. The motor's good. There's high speed, low speed. There's off, and they stop. So that's all good there. So the wipers, motors is good. Interesting, got a red light on my box here from the tail light on a car outside. Anyway, this has a thing like this that goes behind it with a notch in it. It goes to the bottom, and then the wiper cover here has got a little pin in it. You put that all together and then you screw in this middle part. I just use a little pair of needle nose pliers to tighten it. So I need a knob and probably another bezel. It's pretty chewed up, but at least the electrical part works. We'll move on to the next part. This fuse box. The fuses are good, but you can see they're really rusted up bad in here. So I'm not getting any power to my instrument lights, so I'm going to try to get power to those and put some new bulbs in here. Try to get this dash partially working. Move on from there. Just fooling around trying to get the temperature gauge and the oil pressure gauge. So I've got red and white wires and white and red wires here on the inside, but I can't find them on the outside. I hooked up the oil pressure gauge there, and it was just barely registering. I got a new sending unit, so I changed my mind and went this way, and I put a good oil pressure gauge in it, and it's showing me 60 pounds of oil pressure. So far that's good. I don't have a temperature sending unit yet, but this is a mechanical unit, so I'm gonna see if I can get this thing through the firewall here and hook up a mechanical sending unit to it, and I'll try to wire this once I get the little sender for it. Anyway, at least I got good oil pressure, and that's the main thing I was worried about. Working good. You see I got about 25 pounds at idle. Goes up about 55. And my temperature gauge is working. It's showing about 160 right now. Hear a little popping in it. It sounds like I got a gas or something out of that carburetor, but sounds good. Basically it's running real good. Got a little miss on this one. That one's popping a little. I'll just play with the air screws real quick. That one half a turn. See what this one does. seconds. Yeah, it's coming up to 140. Oil pressure is holding good at 25. I decided that it needs a new voltage regulator. I jumped the field and it's charging. I never did get this thing working here. I think what I'm going to do is hook it into the field circuit so it'll show how much current the field's drawing, which will tell me how much is charging. Of course, you see that's not marked in any amps or anything, no numbers, but I'll get that to work, and I'll probably fool around with this oil pressure unit. It is working. When I ground it, it pegs it, so I'll get that working good. I'll have to splice in the connector, because right now I've got my connector running to the oil pressure gauge here. So yeah, I guess I'm going to take all this old bad plastic off of this gauge here, gauge cluster, and see if I can put this gauge. I've got a new cluster for it, but I'm going to try to mount it in here like it is. I don't want to put that new stuff in until I get rid of this old dash and stuff.